Meet Davey Jones. Davey's been a faithful employee of Widget Mart for the last 10 years. He began as a technical writer, but has since taken on a number of varying responsibilities within the company. Now, because of his increasing knowledge of store operations and personnel, Davey has been thrust into the role of instructional designer and trainer. Davey is responsible for teaching employees everything from new procedures to interpersonal skills. But what prompted Widget Mart to move Davey into his new role? Well, Widget Mart has a problem. The training program is a mess and in need of a complete overhaul. To fully understand the extent of this problem, you'll need a little background. So let's start here. Widget Mart began as a single store in 1956 and experienced slow but steady initial growth. During these early years, workers learned company operations and procedures primarily through one-on-one trainings. In these training sessions, employees would spend several months with more experienced supervisors who carried best practices from store to store. What was taught during training, however, was rarely applied in practice. Regional offices seldom agreed on how to handle various procedures, and information would naturally degenerate as it was passed down from employee to employee. These problems became more noticeable during the company's explosive growth in the 1980s. At that time, it was decided that a more formal approach to training was needed. The result was a consolidation of all of Widget Mart's policies, procedures, and best practices into a standardized operations manual. This ops manual became the foundation for a set of structured training materials for all employees. Still, there were problems. The materials were poorly organized and confusing. Over the years, the ops manual and training materials were updated, but more effort went into adding new information than into deleting old, obsolete information. Fast forward to 1994. This marked Widget Mart's first attempt at creating a consolidated online training environment. Unfortunately, the technology being used was unsophisticated, the system poorly designed, and the troublesome training issues persisted. And here we are today. Widget Mart is now the nation's largest discount widget retailer, with 5,000 stores throughout North America and annual sales of over $3 billion. The Widget Mart brand has also expanded to include Universal Widgets, which sells upscale widgets, and Buy More, which leases space in other retail stores to sell widgets. To ensure the continuation of this impressive growth, Widget Mart realizes it must solve the training and performance issues that have plagued them for the last several decades. To accomplish this, Widget Mart has decided to completely scrap their existing performance support system in favor of a fully integrated Electronic Performance Support System, also known as an EPSS. Their hope is that an EPSS will lead to a more manageable, consistent, and user-friendly online training experience. Of course, designing and implementing such a system will be no small task. Which brings us back to Davey. Despite having no formal instructional design training, Widget Mart wants him to make this happen. To help him with this project, Davey's been assigned a team of 5 Widget Mart employees, each of whom possess a unique expertise in Widget Mart operations and policies. Their task is to take the massive amounts of information in the old ops manual, sort it, break it down, catalog it, and somehow integrate it into a single, seamless EPSS package that is accessible to everyone from entry-level shipment processors to district managers. The system must also include variations of the information for all the types of Widget Mart stores and address the unique regional and country-specific requirements. Davey realizes that if he can somehow pull this job off, it will greatly increase his standing within the company. He's certainly ready for the challenge, but is unsure where to begin. Fortunately, Davey knows that the best decision is to solicit the help of performance consultants, professionals who have the necessary expertise and tools to guide him and his team. Davey searches the internet for performance consultant and finds a team that catches his eye.
That's where we come in. MGH Associates.